Versace, Versace, Medusa head on me like Illuminati. I know that you like it. Versace, my neck and my wrist is so sloppy. Versace, Versace, I love it. Versace, the top of my Audi. My blood get John Gotti, he give me the dust and I know that they mighty.
Hey guys, welcome back to Interviews with Anna, and I'm here today with Gabriel Hart, also known as Video God.
What's going on, everybody?
Okay.
Thanks for having me too.
Would you like to introduce yourself a little better?
No, I couldn't follow you. That was really good. That's the best introduction I ever had. I'm nervous. It's a big deal.
Okay, well, I have a series of questions for you today, and my first question is, I would like to know, how did you get started directing and producing music videos?
I used to hang around a lot of comedians in Atlanta, and I used to get evicted a lot. And the only thing that I would keep would be a camera. And I had this camcorder in my car for like a mad long time, like years. And so it ended up being the only thing I actually had that wasn't really, my car. And so I would tote it around, and I realized the camera used to give me access to places I didn't even belong. And one of the places was the comedy clubs I didn't have to pay because I had no money. And once I started going to the clubs, people started asking me to tape their set. They only had one camera, or one tape in the camera. Back then they had cassette tapes. And so I would film someone's, comedy show and let them see it right there and then record over it the next day. Like it was nothing. And that happened for like a year or two. I used one tape for 2 years maybe. And then one day someone asked me to get a copy of their tape. I think it was Mike Epps or somebody was kind of in that area, like Earthquake or Bruce. Somebody was like, hey man, I'm gonna give you a couple of dollars and give me a copy of it. So I had never even thought about that. So I had to figure out how to get it off. And a friend of mine knew someone at Georgia State in Atlanta who was in the film degree department. At the time, I didn't know a film degree didn't mean you actually knew how to do the stuff. It's like, it was theory. So I asked her to do it. She was like, I don't know how to do it. But she knew where they did it at, and she just pretty much walked me, a black woman, walked me through the city of Atlanta to her lab and gave me access to her college equipment, and I just was left to figure it out. And in about an hour or two, I figured it out, and when I first ingested the footage in the computer, I was hooked. Once I made my first transition, it was like a spell went over me, and I haven't stopped since. You have the exclusive on it. No one else knows.
Who would you say is your biggest client you've worked with? Your first biggest client?
The biggest client is the IRS. But after that, I'll just play. The biggest client I would have, it's just all in perspective, because who I looked up to, I ended up working with everyone except for Tupac, and he's not here, right? So no one gets my respect really, for real. Because I'm always comparing them to like what would Tupac be like. So I think that's what makes me work, because I don't really respect the artists that I work with, aside for a few people that was around when Pac was around. So I kind of like just do it. So I don't try hard, and I think they respect it. So they come to the set knowing I had an attitude about them, and they may be working a little hard, thinking that hey, everyone else treats me this way, but you don't. You treat me like a regular person, because I'm looking at you like you ain't Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So, but to answer your question, my biggest client probably would be George Clinton, just because of his reach. I mean, it's like people don't appreciate him in America, but around the world, he packs out places all around the world, like 3 or 4 times a night. And it's a cult following. He literally has people that follow him around the world every show, big or little. And he has like 12, 20 people at every time. He's huge, and all the music that he plays on his shows is like a hit record for rappers, like Dr. Dre, even Tupac, and even Childish Gambino, and A$AP Rocky, and Jay-Z. All the music, Dr. Dre, all those people owe so much to George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. It's just amazing that I have a personal relationship with him, and just for him to show me his influence inadvertently by being around him. Hands down, by far the most legendary and biggest client and most effective client for music and hip hop, I think, that I've ever worked with.
Do you have any clients that you favor the most? Not favor the most, but that you enjoy working with? personally?
My favorite client that I probably enjoy with the most would be Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa and Taylor Gang, I've worked with some of the hardest working people, hardest to work with people. But Wiz Khalifa and their culture, working with them, I mean, it's a reason why he's like the #1 video of all time on YouTube. You know, it's a reason why people are successful. He has a good character, he's a nice guy, his whole team is nice, and it's just positivity. I've never once ever had a problem with them in any aspect of anything. So I always look forward to them, working with them, and Juicy J and Taylor Gang, you know, Chevy Woods and Wiz Khalifa and Will and all those guys at Taylor Gang Entertainment. Everybody there. So it's like I enjoy working with them. You know what I mean? If I was to work permanently with anyone in the industry, it would probably be with them.
Do you have any favorite Wiz Khalifa song?
Of course, Black and Yellow. All the videos I did, brand new. You know what I'm saying? The Ty Dolla $ign. That's my probably favorite because I did the video, but I love the song. And I think you can look at the video and say, well, I really enjoyed that song because the video is really a good video. It's one of my better videos. You know? In fact, that video broke my website. Like it broke down my web. It was so many people. Like you know, you can tell how many people go to your website. Mm-hmm. The day the video dropped, it went from 800 in the month to 17,000 that day. Yeah, wow, is correct. So you know, not only is he a nice person, but he's a draw. He's like iconic almost. You know, you can't tell that because there's so many copycats and you know wannabes around it. But Wiz is the real deal. You know, he'll be like the next Snoop and those people who are so like transcending hip hop, like global on a global level. And then to be a nice person is even better. You know, so yeah.
When was the longest you have been on set?
We did Hannah Montana with the Migos, 23 hours. 23 hours.
Without a break?
I don't break. I don't. When I first started, I didn't even know what lunch was. People wanted lunch. I was like, ain't no lunch. Because I go off my own drive, and I think my drive is infectious. People see me going, and I'm the director. Most of the tone is set by the person who's in control, and usually I'm in control. So I'll embarrass you if I'm keep going and you want to stop and you know, take a smoke break or you know, do whatever you do to get whatever you gotta do to get right. Do it and then come on back to work. You know, because we were so behind, and plus we had to shoot the video in the middle of the night because the location was already open in the daytime. So that meant we went from nighttime all the way to daytime back to nighttime. You know? Yeah, so it was crazy. Yeah.
What is one thing you wish you could have done differently while coming up in your career as a music producer?
The one thing that I always think about is if I would have started earlier. So all the kids out there, all the parents, the earlier you get your child involved in a craft, no matter what it is, and they stick to that one thing, then you have no choice but to be great in it. Malcolm Gladwell has a book called The Tipping Point, and it's about 10,000 hours. He says you put in 10,000 hours to master a craft, and I believe that's true. Because before I got my first video, I had already been doing it for free for 10,000 hours. So by the time I did my first video, it went through the roof because of my dedication to one thing. No matter if I had nowhere to stay, I always figured out a way to get back to my computer and get back to my camera and get back to work. You know what I mean? So it wasn't worried about the making money or being known. I just, the minute I got paid, people knew me from the moment the first person paid me. You know what I'm saying? So, but up to that point, I had never gotten paid for a video. I was just doing it off passion. So, but if I started earlier, I would probably gotten to that point sooner. So, you know, find out what you want to do, get exposed to as many things as you can early on, and when you find that thing that makes you happy, that you can't, you know, that you wake up running to do it, and you stay up as long as you can to keep doing it, that's pretty much probably going to be your passion. That's going to be the thing that you're going to use to make you happy and get you through some dark times.
I'm glad that you said that because my final question was going to be, do you have any advice for upcoming music producers?
Yes, just never stop, never quit. I know that's cliche, but it's not that people that are doing more than you right now, they're better than you. It's usually because everyone else that are better than you probably gave up. You know, so the race is not given to the swift or the strong, the one that endures to the end. So endure to the end. Don't stop. Take that.
Thank you. you.
Thank you.
And this concludes my interview.
Wow.
Video God.
Was I just interviewed by Anna? Oh my goodness, this is. I thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you were booked. I know you had a lot of people. It's like 3 artists in the room right now waiting, and she chose me over a whole room of people. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you for flying me to Bahamas, first class, and just for this interview, top shelf. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for watching.
And cut! What's going on, everybody? This is director Gabriel Hart, aka Video God, and you're watching Interviews with Anna. Check it out.
Versace, Medusa head on me like Illuminati. I know that you like it. Versace, my neck and my wrist is so sloppy. Versace, I love it. Versace, the top of my Audi. My blood get John Gotti, he give me the dose and I know that they mighty.